Yeah, I had my head scratching at the lack of pit calls from pit road. I was impressed. Rodney Childers, he probably gets the vote as the most creative and gave himself a chance to win the race.
And I think, every week we try to break down a turning point. Like, what was the turning point of this race? I think that was it. I think Rodney Childers, when he made that call to put 2 on and Kyle Busch and his team did 4, like, this call put the 4 car in front of Kyle Busch.
Yes. Yeah, this should be the last pit stop of the race. And unfortunately, there's going to be a penalty on this pit stop. You see Kyle Busch sitting in his pit stall. Kevin Harvick comes around and he comes in. And Rodney Childers says, you know what? I like Kevin Harvick in clean hair. I'm going to give my guy 2 less tires, but we're going to get track position. Uncontrolled tires, what killed them, because up until this point, I really thought, DJ, that this was going to be the call that won the race. You see the disappointment from the crew chief.
Yeah, and I'd seen enough with cars on 2 tires and Kevin Harvick having a good car and being Kevin Harvick, everything was fine. But this right here, once he had to come back down pit road, and then, of course, they got into other problems with the steering box and things to where he was really slow after that. But, it was the right call, the right strategy, and I think that's a part of the race in this day and time. Who's willing to take that gamble?
It was 2 turning points. The 2 tires was the turning point to win, and then the penalty was the turning point to take themselves completely out.
But if we go back to Rodney Childers, he started this early in the race.
Yes.
Like, he was the first guy on pit road trying to do something different. He understood track position. He knew what it was going to take. It didn't all get put together, and I think that's the story of the 4 cars year, right? They put themselves in position and can't execute. But right off the start of the race, he had an idea what he was going to have to do to win this race.
I was so frustrated. So bravo to Jeff Gordon and everyone on Fox who set up. Guys, pay attention here. Around lap 20, we're going to see a wave of cars come to pit road for tires and then come get fuel only on the caution. And who comes? Only the 4 of Kevin Harvick. It's beyond me what these other teams were doing. Anyone who took 2 tires might have thought that was a better option. But there were other cars, DJ, that was a completely missed opportunity. I know you're only 20 laps into the race, but it set the tone right away that Rodney Childers was there to win. That was his goal, to guarantee a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he showed everybody that he had thought this out a little bit more and kind of knew what to expect with the racing and the things that they may have to do to give Kevin Harvick that opportunity to try to win that first race this year. My question is, as they do these things, which are brilliant, and continue with that, we see them continuously put themselves in a bad position with things happening with pit stops. And how much more can this team take with not being able to close the deal, because they've always been able to do that. But can they keep things headed in a good direction?
It reminds me of a team that's lost their star player, and they keep trying to run, whether it's, say it's a football team, and they keep trying to run the same offense without their quarterback, without the best arm, and they're losing, and they're losing, and they're losing. At what point do you change the offense, right? And that's really what you're saying. At what point does Rodney Childers say, look, I can't do this because we can't execute, so I'm going to have to change. And my opinion is, as soon as they do that, they're dead in the water, because they'll never win a championship that way. Right. They'll win a championship on the route they're going. And if the weak point continues to be the pit crew, I expect changes of some sort to be made, either in personnel. I'm not just saying personnel, but maybe it's how they're doing the pit stops. Maybe it's the execution. I don't know. But you have to still call the right races.
Hey, Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.